Welcome to Business Development Center Monthly, a show dedicated to talking about the Upper Coastal Plain Business Development Center, where we bring you the latest information about the perfect place to get your business started. And now, let's meet our hosts.
Welcome. My name is Greg Goddard. I'm President and CEO of Upper Coastal Plains Development Corporation. We manage and direct the activities here at the Business Development Center, which is a regional business incubator. This is our monthly magazine, Business Center Monthly, and my special guest today is Rose Cushing, who is one of our client companies here in the BDC, and she's here to talk about her business and how she got interested in horses of all things. Rose, tell our audience a little bit about yourself personally.
Sure. I had horses when I was in high school. In fact, that was my high school graduation present, was a horse, and I've loved them my entire life. So my son was getting ready to go to Iraq, and I bought a colt to be distracted and wound up becoming a breeding farm. So now I stand 5 stallions, and I have about 30 horses. We raise paints and quarter horse. And through my work career, I worked at the newspaper. I took a class at Johnston Community on article writing. I sent it to Ken Ripley in Spring Hope, who decided he let me do a column every other week in the newspaper, and then I could sell pretty good, so it wound up being an advertising director position after a while, and I kind of grew from there to the Daily Southerner in Tarboro.
Right.
And my job there was to develop magazines. So I had an idea to tie my horse love into a business for myself.
So you grew up around horses.
Oh, yes.
So do you had favorite horses that you had when you were a child or when you were a teenager?
Oh, yeah. My first horse was Midnight, and she was a walking horse, so she'll always have a special place in my heart. And now my favorite is a stallion that I have, and his name's Watch Eyes, but I call him Winky. Wow.
That's a neat background. And out of that interest in horses and her love for horses, she got into publications. After being in writing for several newspapers, as you just indicated, you actually got into publishing.
Right.
Talk about your publications.
Okay. I do North Carolina's only equine magazine, Carolina Hoofbeats. I started it in November of 2011, and we do 10,000 copies. It's published statewide. We cover every breed of horse and every riding style, and everything that's equine industry related.
Right.
So it's got about 15 writers that write for me, and we do a pretty good job covering every genre.
So you're the publisher and editor, and you outsource your actually printing of the magazine to another company.
Correct.
And how often do you have this publication?
I publish it every other month.
So it's a bi-monthly type issue.
Correct.
And I think on your screen you'll probably see the cover of the magazine. Her current issue is Carolina Hoof Prints for July and August of 2013. She's got some very interesting articles in there. You want to tell our audience a little bit about a couple of the neat articles in there? One
of the really neat things this month, Breyer horses. You've probably seen Breyer model horses for years. They were around when I was a kid. Well, there's a lady down in Kelly, North Carolina, Mary Miller Jordan, and she does Mustang makeovers. So she actually gets wild horses from the West, and she trains them. And she entered this Mustang into a competition called America's Favorite Trail Horse, which was a TV show. And so she won that competition, and Breyer decided to make a model horse after this wild Mustang called Lindsay's Faith. Wow. So that's all about that is in the article this month. And we have another couple of articles that are written in there, one by Jim Thomas that talks about the latest craze kind of in the horse thing. It's like an obstacle course for trail riders. So there's 11 or 12 obstacles, such as a water obstacle that you have to go, and you might have to open a gate and different things, getting on the horse and off the horse. And so he talks a little bit about how you can build that in your backyard as well as do it in a competition. And the competitions actually pay money back for winning. Wow.
How big is the equine industry in North Carolina? I know that there's a lot of horse farms I've seen across the state, primarily in the central and western part of North Carolina. There's some in the east. But how big is that industry?
North Carolina has a $2 billion a year industry.
Wow.
90% of that $2 billion is spent right here in our state. 75% the horsemen and women spend in their home county. So that's a big payback for any kind of industry to our area.
And do we grow barley and the feed product and the hay and the products that the equine industry needs? I assume a lot of farmers have maybe transitioned to some of those types of crops.
Absolutely. And we also have supporting industries. We have Gore horse trailers down in Whiteville, and we have a medical industry called Bannock's that's in Vass, North Carolina, and Harris Saddlery and World Class Saddlery also build custom-made saddles here.
Wow, neat. And you have another publication too, besides Carolina Hoofprints, which is a North Carolina news magazine. You also do one, I think, for the Southeast. Tell us about the Southeastern version.
Southeast Equine has been around about 15 years, and it covers from Florida up to Virginia, and then Kentucky and Tennessee. And that magazine is distributed in 500 locations around that area. And like Carolina Hoofbeats, we cover every kind of horse and every kind of riding discipline. We have about 20 guest writers that write for that publication, and we use a lot of photographers from around the state.
Neat. And I'm assuming you use some of the same stories, some of the same editors, contributing editors that you call them.
We do.
That add to your, gosh, that's a lot of work.
We do.
That's an awful lot of work to put all this together on a bi-monthly basis. How do you do it all?
Well, not easily, that's for sure. I couldn't do it without my team of folks, but moving here has been a big help.
I guess your experience in the newspaper industry really helped you in terms of learning how to lay it out and how to design the formats and the pictures and the script, and I guess there's a lot to be learned there.
There is, and luckily I did have all that training through the newspapers, and I also work with the North Carolina Horse Council.
Neat.
I'm on their executive board, and I do a lot of the marketing for them. So that has given me an opportunity to meet lots of horse people around the state and find articles and what's trending and what people might be interested in. That really helps a lot to know what to put in the magazine.
Right. I understand that you recently ventured out and decided that you want to do a little TV.
I have.
Do a TV magazine.
I have. We have Carolina Hoofbeats TV that will be airing right here on WHIG beginning August 4th on Sunday nights at 7:30. And what we are doing with our show is taking our viewers all over the state and giving them front seats to every kind of event and getting introduced to different kinds of trainers. And trying to teach people how valuable the equine industry is. Not only is it a tremendous dollar industry, but children that are involved in agriculture are like 80% less likely to get in trouble and get on drugs.
Right.
So I'm a big advocate for that.
So when will that TV magazine start? Will that start soon?
August 4th.
August 4th, right around the corner. So for our viewers that want to learn more about what's happening in the equine industry, you'll be able to see it on TV as well as get your latest publication of the magazine. Tell us, I know that in the state of North Carolina, I'm familiar being from the eastern part of the state, I'm familiar with the Bob Martin Ag Center down in Williamston. Are there other similar facilities across North Carolina?
Oh yeah. The state owns 4. They own Bob Martin, and they have the Hunt Horse Complex in Raleigh. There is the Southeastern Agriculture and Events Center down in Lumberton that just opened a couple years ago. And then Western North Carolina Agriculture Center is in Fletcher, North Carolina.
Wow.
And then there's 3 or 4 private centers as well that people have events in.
I know you were telling me before the show started that you were very involved with the new Lumberton facility. Tell us about that facility and what role you played in working with that development of that facility.
Sure. The people down in Robeson County for 20 years have been trying to get that facility built. So the state finally got enough money in the appropriations to build the facility, but they didn't build any stalls. And for a horse event to be successful, you really need to have stalls because the folks that come to do the shows want to stay overnight. And they have nice, expensive horses, so they want them a nice place to stay.
Sure.
A 3-day horse show in an area can bring $750,000 to the local economy. So it's a big boost for the area. So the Horse Council got involved with this, and we're doing a fundraiser, and what we're doing is people can actually buy a nameplate for each stall and raise money to build those stalls. So to date, we've raised $250,000.
So what is your goal?
$600,000.
Wow. So you're well on your way,
So
about
we're working
40%
hard.
on your way to raising those funds. Do the other facilities already have the stalls? So
They do.
what you're trying to do is bring Lumberton's up to the standard of the others in North Carolina.
Correct.
Well, what a neat thing to do. What a great impact on the local economy. I never thought much about the impact of horse shows in these types of rodeos. I guess rodeos are included. I know they have those down in Williamston. What it means to the local economy to have these types of events. And I think these facilities like the Bob Martin, they also have concerts. They have other types of events there as well as horse-related shows. So it's really neat what you've been doing and how you've been advancing the economy across North Carolina and working. We're real happy that you're located here at the Business Development Center. And when we come back in the second half, we want to talk a little bit about her business and what the advantages and disadvantages are of having a home office set up versus being somewhere like the Business Development Center. So Rose, when we come back, we'll talk a little bit about the business aspect and the operational aspect of your business.
Very good.
Please join us in a few minutes.
Ready to pursue your business dream? Business incubation may be the solution. The Upper Coastal Plain Business Development Center has the answer. The center provides an all-inclusive professional work environment where your idea can turn into a business. With affordable office space, business counseling, conference and training rooms, state-of-the-art phone and internet connectivity, office technology, and receptionist support, you can be in business in no time. Just call, click, or come see us at the Upper Coastal Plain Business Development Center in downtown Wilson.
Welcome back to Business Development Monthly Magazine. Thank you for tuning in. My special guest today is Rose Cushing. She's President and CEO of Carolina Hoofbeats, which is a publication about horses, the equine industry. I want to talk with Rose a little bit. She's one of our newest client companies that have joined us here at the Business Development Center. She's been here, 2 months now?
2.
And I want her to talk a little bit about her experience here. And we want to talk about business in general. You got started in business. How did you finance when you first started? How did you finance this business?
I sold the advertisements, and I had everybody pay in advance for their ad, which is traditional in the newspaper industry, and that's how I did it. I just made my budget fit what I had to spend.
You know, this is one of the most significant things about starting a new business or expanding business is having the capital to move forward to do all the things you have to do to pay your staff, the utility bill, all the various things that a small business has to pay. And you actually got started, I think, out of your home.
I did.
Tell us about that experience, working out of your home.
Sure. I started the magazine in a spare bedroom, and of course, as the magazine grew, and it grew much faster than I thought it would, I had junk everywhere. And then every time that we had company and I had to clean up the house, then my office got kind of stashed away, and then I had to take a week to find everything again. And the downside, too, to having a business in your home is that you're never off work. So at midnight, at 4 a.m., I'd be doing stuff, writing articles, answering emails, and so I was getting burned out real fast, I think.
And a lot of small businesses do start at home because it's the most inexpensive way to do it, but there are some downsides to it. How did that impact your family?
Luckily, all of my kids don't live close by. They're all in other states, or I would have probably been impeached from our family. And my husband is very, very patient and understanding.
He must be.
He's been very supportive.
Yeah. But, you know, that's one of the values of moving to the next level of getting out of your home-based business and moving to a facility like the Business Incubator here, is that we give you that space here that you're not going to be interrupted by family. Not that your family interrupts you. It's just that I used to be in the insurance business, and I had a business in my home, and I had small children. They're constantly coming in and want to see Dad. And, you know, you want to take time to spend with them, but you take your time and focus away from your business. So there are some distinct advantages in having an office outside of the home. And so far, what has been your experience here moving from your home to this location?
It's been the very best thing I ever did for my business. When I was home, I couldn't afford amenities like a nice copier. I couldn't afford a color copier. I didn't have somebody that would help me take care of my mail every day. I didn't have wireless internet. There were just a lot of things that I had to do without, which is very frustrating because having been a professional person, I know how an office should operate, and I couldn't. So since we've come here, I'm free to keep whatever hours that I need to keep because we can come and go as we please. It's been wonderful because we have a receptionist in the front, so if a customer stops by, I have somebody to greet them and let me know they're here. We have access to fabulous copiers that I only dream about owning that can collate and print booklets for me, and they can do my price and rate cards. Wireless internet, I mean, just every amenity that an office needs is here. And it's been a blessing to have the staff. You know, you and Olga have been wonderful mentors in helping me make decisions about my business and having me write a business plan, which I had never written a business plan. And
that's one of our requirements, by the way. You have to have a business plan or be developing one if you're going to be admitted to the Business Development Zone.
And that's such an important thing that I had always just taken for granted and never bothered to do. But when you have to really think about how you're going to do your business from beginning to 5 years and commit to it in writing, it really makes you look at it differently and more professionally.
What the statistics tell us today is that most small businesses that start, only about 50% make it past 5 years. And our experience in working with our client companies here is, and across the United States is that success rate goes to about 85%. Actually make it 5 years or more. So we know that having the focus here where we can mentor you and work with you and help you share experiences, we know that it contributes to a more success rate of small businesses. Tell us about security. How do you feel? You feel secure at this location?
Oh, very much so. My office is on the second floor. I'm the only person on that floor, but I'm never ever afraid to be up there. And it's wonderful because it's dead quiet. So when I'm laying out the magazine, I can work for hours without interruption, which is a blessing.
Well, we hope we're going to change that. We've got a couple other potential client companies that want to move up there to give you some company. But yes, that's one of the great advantages is having a solitary place that you can do your work. That's certainly very important. Anything else? I know you mentioned the copier center. We did buy expensive high-speed color copiers that can collate and make booklets and business cards and such. That's an important investment for small businesses to have professional looking material, and we afford that to our client companies. They just pay the cost of publishing the pieces. The other thing is that we will soon be a gigabyte customer for the City of Wilson on new green light broadband. That's going to open a lot of good opportunities because we have the broadest bandwidth that you can get at a very affordable rate, and all that's built into our client customers' basic lease rate every month. So here at the Business Development Center, anywhere from you can get a space anywhere, an 8x8 space for $275 a month, all inclusive of amenities, up to about $650 for a larger space that could accommodate about 4 people. So we've got the facility, services, and the support system in place to help people like Rose be even more successful.
Absolutely. It's been a really good experience for me.
Do you anticipate adding any help in the future?
I do, actually. I have hired an assistant recently, and she'll start the first week of August, and she'll be a part-time and growing into a full-time.
And you have enough space in your larger office that you have that you can accommodate her, or if you add another person, we have another office that you can have access to. You can grow it even more.
Absolutely.
Beautiful thing about our facility, we have sufficient space here to grow existing businesses that are here, so you don't have to move out. Although, generally speaking, what we try to do is to work with companies up to about 3 years and help move them to a private space outside of our facility. But we haven't been here long enough. We want to keep you a few more years.
Yeah, I want to stay a long time.
Absolutely.
You also have the wonderful meeting center, which we'll be doing a kickoff party for the TV show in.
Yeah, I didn't mention the conference rooms. The one we're in here is a community conference room. We have our training center upstairs. It's right down from your office. It's fully equipped with connections to the internet with a projector and a slideshow. Everything you need to do a professional presentation is available to you. As you said, the secretary receptionist position up front really gives you a professional appearance. So when people come in, they can be as if they were your employees, and be able to. We can even have them answer your phone if you'd like to have that, or you can have it phone ring directly to your office. So we have a great amount of amenities here to support small business and entrepreneurs. With the new gigabyte service that we'll be getting, Rose, we'll be doing more of an outreach to some of the other counties that we haven't reached to, Wayne, Greene, Wake County. We know that we can be a customer who locates here is only 45 minutes from downtown Raleigh. We think there are a lot of people that want broadband coverage that will agree to maybe do business here in the Business Development Center and maybe live in Wake County. I mean, you live in Nash County in Middlesex, I believe.
I do.
And it's not a bad drive at all to get to downtown Wilson. One of the new things that we're doing at the Business Development Center, we're beginning an electronic newsletter on a quarterly basis, and Rose has agreed to help us in terms of putting that newsletter together, and that's going to start very soon.
It is, and one way to subscribe to that would be to go to the Upper Council Government's website and sign up for the newsletter, and we'll be covering all of the 5 counties that the Council of Government services. We'll have articles on business, so kind of training tips and technical information and things to help small businesses grow.
Yeah. So you can even join us, as you said, subscribe to our electronic newsletter that we'll be talking about small business and activities and things happening in the 5-county region. We've got a great place for small businesses. This is an example of one person who's taken advantage of those amenities and a very reasonable rate. How would you compare the cost of doing business here?
My rent probably is about what I'd pay for electricity if I was renting an office, so it's wonderful.
Yeah, one of the things, you don't have to pay your deposits and those kinds of things. We only get 1 month of rent lease in advance. You don't have to make deposits on telephone, high-speed internet, all those things, deposits for safety purposes and things. So it's a very affordable way to get started.
Definitely.
Well, we've enjoyed having you join us today with our special guest, Rose Cushing. Rose, tell the folks that are viewers how they can get in touch with you and maybe get a subscription to Carolina Hoof Press.
Sure. You can go to my website, carolinahoofbeats.com, and on the website there's a link to subscribe, and you just print the form off and send it to me. It's $20 a year, which basically covers the postage and handling of the magazine. You can also see all kinds of online extras on the website, so articles that didn't make the magazine or follow-up articles to stuff that was in the magazine is available. And the TV show will be available on carolinahoofbeatstv.com and also on WHIG.com for the folks that can't get it locally on the networks.
And for any of you that would like to contact me, I can be reached at the number of 234-5900 or 234-5950 is my direct line. Or go and I would encourage you to go to our website, www.UCPBDC.com. We have 2 outstanding image videos, one on incubation and one that takes you on a tour of our facility. But if that's something that we can help you with, please contact me and we'd be happy to give you a personal tour and talk to you about leasing space here in the Business Development Center. Until next time, we thank you for joining us, and I wish you a great day, Rose.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Welcome to the Upper Coastal Plain Business Development Center. This unique regional business incubator works with small businesses and entrepreneurs to develop their businesses. Today we'll take a tour of the facility.
Good morning, Upper Coastal Plain Business Development Center.
The Business Development Center has 29 flexible offices on the first floor and 18 offices on the second floor. 20 of those offices have built-in desks, file cabinets, bookshelves, desk light, and a comfortable chair. Each office includes a modern phone with many electronic features including voice messaging, high-speed internet connectivity, all utilities, security, and janitorial services. The other 9 offices are larger, can accommodate more than one person, but do not include furnishings.
What Jennifer does, the receptionist, she calls, let me know when someone's up front. She calls, let me know if I have any packages or anything. If someone called me while I'm out, sometimes I would get her to call my cell phone.
Have a great receptionist up front that looks out for us as if she was an employee of our company, which is really great for us. Gives us a third hand because of us being on the road all the time. We never have to worry about missing phone calls.
I like the fact that we have the swipe keys because no one can just come into the building. You have to have that key to get in. And as well as when I have my members that come in up front, I have Jennifer to call and I go pick them up, bring them back.
The 24/7 access to the facility is great. It allows us to be able to go in and out of the facility in a secured facility. We never have to worry about making sure that someone hasn't forgot to lock a door or anything, and we know that the people that are in the facility, especially after hours, are those who have gone through the background check.
The Nash Street Conference Room and second floor training room are ideal spaces for company meetings. Our educational partners frequently use the space for seminars, workshops, webinars for both client companies and any small business in the region. Business counseling, mentoring, and technical assistance are very important services we provide our startup and expanding businesses.
Some of the workshops in the past that have been presented pertain to QuickBooks, for example. That was one that was very recent. How to do proper accounting in order to stay completely within the legal parameters that many times small business owners can overlook.
The main thing that I enjoy here is the second floor conference room. I love the projector.
These rooms are equipped with high-speed internet connectivity, overhead projector screens for presentations.
All the facility spaces are included in a very affordable lease. We just go up front and talk with Jennifer, give her the date that we're looking at. As long as no one else has, booked anything, we're able to get But the facility is so large that even if someone did have a specific room booked, there's plenty of other options for us to choose.
I have a total of 27 members now. We are on the 3rd floor because they give us more space. They can come in, do the testing. I have room to have them all in here when I need to have a little meeting in here with them. All of that.
We do a lot of our business through email contact, and so the high-speed internet, having access to that was great. It was just a lot of things that were included in the rent that just made it really sufficient and really cost efficient.
The affordability of this space is wonderful. You have meeting rooms, fax machines, mail service.
They basically figure out the postage and I just pay it at the end of the month. Very, very convenient.
We're not having to put money into those investments ourselves for repairs. The time it saves us not having to go to a Staples or an Office Depot to make copies. We can, conveniently go upstairs.
There is a fully equipped kitchen on the 4th floor, which is quite useful for people like myself, which are heavy coffee drinkers, and those that get tied up with online presentations to clients or phone conversations and not able to break away during the day. There's an opportunity for a client to go up to the 4th floor and utilize the kitchen so that they can still focus on their work on any given day.
This is the place for you to be if you want to start your business at the beginning.
All of the services that are needed are in this one space.
We just love it here.
We hope you enjoyed your tour today of the Business Development Center. We hope that you'll schedule a time to come down and get your personal tour so we can show you how we can bring your product or service to market today.